It is time to make the sound to summon the stream. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Cowill Quickcard, and welcome back to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, part of my Gen 1 through 4 Remake Nuzlocke Marathon. I did not put Pikachu in a maid dress. This is specifically cosplay Pikachu. I'm not the one who decided it needed to cosplay. It did that entirely on its own. And I felt that this was the most realistic, reasonable way to represent that. So, yeah, it's definitely fine. Nothing to worry about there. Last time we got this started, we managed to secure 2 badges. I do not believe we had any casualties. And we're actually doing pretty good. Before we get started, there is one thing I would like to go over just real quick. Here we go. My mother is started a GoFundMe. She's trying to raise funds so she can get her beloved little toy poodle some cataract surgery to restore his vision. If you are in a position where you have the means and are interested to contributing to that, it would be very much appreciated. We're not going to waste a lot of time harping on that, though. If it interests you, there's a link down there in the description. But enough about that. Let's actually focus on our Pokemon. Our team right now consists of Lux, the Marshtomp, Concha, the Dustox, who I actually have pretty high hopes for, Ralsei, the Zigzagoon, who's just out here living his best life, Gilbert, the Tailo, and, of course, Tina, the Pikachu in cosplay. Noob had told me previously that they were not going to be able to attend today, but they gave a name. So we are going to head out to Route 110, see what we can catch out here, unless... No, I have not checked Route 110, that's fine. And on Route 110, our options are Electrike, Plusle, Oddish, Zigzagoon, Wingull, Gulpin, and Voltorb. Sounds pretty good. Oh, Cole, big important news for you. In my playthrough of Too Many Types 2, I have in fact captured a Magnemite. We have Route 110? Did we check Route 110? Did I not save? Did I not correctly mark off my routes? Hold on. We found a Plusle. Did we? Why did I not mark this stuff off? Hold on. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it on my checklist, I don't have anything after Route 105 marked off. I may have intended to get those successfully marked and then just not done it. Yeah, we did get a Plusle, so we did check Route 109. it would be really helpful if I could actually accurately click on my map here. Whoops. Okay, Route 109 is an ocean route, so we definitely didn't do that. 108 ocean route, 107 ocean route, 105 ocean route. Okay, so routes 105 through 109 are not marked off on my list, and I think that's accurate. So I think the only one we missed a note of was Route 110. Yes, okay. So we can confirm there's not anywhere else I forgot to mark off. It's just 110. So I believe that we are now heading out to where we may have another rival battle. Ah. Let's keep going through Route 110 and head for Mount Chimney. Wow, that's quite far. Why don't we take a rest in Mauville City? It's on the way. Great idea. I'm going to be getting my Gen 3 stuff kind of mixed up, since I've been playing too many Types 2, which is also, you know, Gen 3 base. And, yeah. The Gen 3 dedicated parts of my brain are a little scrambled at the moment. But I think it's all going to be okay. Not to mention, we definitely are still... Let's see. Okay, that's my speed up toggle button. Got it. Just need to make sure I remembered that. Noob, welcome to the stream. Yes, Cole, you will be able to appreciate that there is a Magnemite there. Coles, it's good to see you. Noob, always pleasure. Noob, since you had told me that you were not going to be here previously, but had suggested a name, you are at the top of the naming list. So, congratulations on that. At max, I will be here for 10 minutes. I think that's probably a good idea. Sleep is really important. But the first Pokemon we catch today will be named Feldway, as you had requested. Coles will get a name in after that, followed by Aubrey, assuming that you're all here for the time of the naming. Or that you tell me a name you want before you leave somewhere. After I finish, I'll bind up Binding of Isaac again. Yeah, you got really into Binding of Isaac. Have you been enjoying it? College starts tomorrow. Congratulations. I hope you have a great time. Mud Sport. Don't need Mud Sport. I think I found that the best strategy while I was playing too many Types 2 was to just use a move that forcibly changes your opponent's types. So, unfortunately, while playing too many Types, it seems like my most effective strategy is just turning my opponent's monkey type, because at least then I know how to fight them. Only 1 week holiday after exam. That is rough. We've got the Trick House. I can't remember what the rewards for the Trick House is. I don't think... They might be TMs. If they're TMs, then Trick House is very important. If it's anything other than TMs, it really probably doesn't matter. Eh, whatever. Just the ADHD hyperfixation roulette landed onto Binding of Isaac again. Yeah, I can understand that. This is Route 103, which has been previously marked off, so we don't need to worry about that. Excuse me. I believe up here is where we get our rival battle. Assuming it still functions the way it does in base Gym 3. Unless this little bastard wants to fight me first. We're going to be going for somewhere between 2 and 3 hours of stream today. Let's see, which badges can we realistically get today? Mauville for certain. Lava Ridge also probably a certainty. I don't think... I don't think we'll get more than those 2 badges. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe we'll get 3 badges today. I'm not expecting to get as far as 4 Tree. Because I believe we have to do the full loop up through Fall Arbor, Meteor Falls, back down, before we get the TMs to continue, I think is the Gen 3 progression. Hey, Nino, it's been ages. Nice timing, too. I was just searching for Pokemon, you know? My dad is always going on about how nature used to be even more diverse way back in the day. He says that there used to be way more kinds of Pokemon than there are now, so that's why they do field work, him and me. We really want to find out what happened to those Pokemon in the past. I think they got blasted by an ultimate weapon. Chill May, you think you're so cute with your little ribbon headscarf thing flick. Shut up! Slugma D's nuts. It's also the focal point of one of the 3 ARGs. I think ARGs are boring. But it also might have something to do with the fact that, you know, I live in Colorado, and even being within, like, the city areas of Colorado, it's just not really something that we get involved with. That, you know, no one's coming to Denver to launch their hot new ARGs, you know? Concha, let's do this. Yeah, you ain't doing crap with Fury Cutter. I, on the other hand, have the power of Gust. Now, that's an interesting choice that he would go for Pursuit. Did the AI actually predict that I would switch? Or was that just the move it thought would do the most damage? Poison doesn't affect you. Quilly, do you realize that the cosplay variant of is wrong variant? Who cares? It's in a maid dress, and that's all that matters. Yeah, that's a good point, Coles. This thing's just not putting out the damage that I need. If I try to switch now, he could call a Pursuit, which would definitely be enough to kill Concha. Gilbert would do better. What would happen if I just hop in with my alts and suggest some names? Hey, noob. Just don't be a dick. You want the answer? There's your answer. Just don't be a dick. Okay? We can all respect each other. Alright? It's not hard. In fact, it's blatantly easy. Okay, wing attack. Unfortunately, Grovyle is actually pretty strong. Okay. Okay, if you're speaking in purely hypotheticals, your hypothetical answer is that I remove your naming rights. So that's the answer to your hypothetical. If I had 10.5 hours of uninterrupted sleep, I'd wake up feeling like I was hungover. If you didn't need 10.5 hours of sleep, certainly. I definitely needed this. Since I don't know how long it's actually going to take me to whittle down the Whalmer, we're going to open with Thunder Wave. And Electro Ball should be good, given their speed difference. Oh yeah, that was a one-shot. I needn't have worried. Perfect. Okay, Grovyle was a little iffy, but that was a perfectly fine fight. Feint, no thanks. I don't need Feint. Gilbert levels up. Ralsei levels up. We beat May. Dowsing Machine. Sweatier than a Discord mod after 10.5 hours of an uninterrupted gaming session on League. God, I know I technically run a Discord server. If I ever got popular enough that I actually had to spend my time and energy moderating that, I'd be miserable. Thank God I'm still small enough that I don't have to bother doing much, well, any active moderation for streams, the channel, or the Discord. In fact, last week's RPG Maker session was the first time I ever had to do any mod duty whatsoever. I'm just a very lazy, laid-back kind of person. Quill, do you see the other 3 buttons? I do see the other 3 buttons. The problem is that I cannot reliably click on those buttons. The touchscreen does not respond well. I will demonstrate what I mean. Hold on. Okay, yeah, alright. My cursor will now be visible on this completely original hardware that I'm playing on. You can all see my completely original mouse cursor. And I'll actually show you how bad the touchscreen actually is. Or at least it was last time. I haven't done much testing of it today. But last time the touchscreen was essentially utterly unreliable. Actually, we can just test it now. Hold on. Okay, that was... No, it actually looks like it's cooperating. Oh, right. I had capture cursor on the wrong window, because I'm actually making this out of 2 hybrid window captures. Here we go. There we go, okay. Cursor will now be visible on the touchscreen window, but not on the main window. So we can see if we're still having touchscreen problems. Mud Bomb. Wrong button. Hello, Mystic. Welcome to the stream. Power 65. I'm not willing to trade 10 accuracy for 10 power. How long have I been on? Let's see, 25 minutes? We're gonna keep our old moves. Alright, let's take a look here. Alright, so we can see the cursor on the screen, and we're going to click this button. Hear the clicking? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, that works. Do I just need to be a little higher than the buttons? I think since the idea was that it had to detect a fingertip, I just need to aim a little higher than the button. Yes. Okay. So I can reliably use the touch screen then. Okay. I just have to aim a little differently. Mystic, we're going to add you to the naming queue. And let's keep heading up to Mauville. Excuse me, sir. Try the yellow-pink. You want Pokemonomy. Yes. I know your obsession with pets. Ah, damn it. Believe it or not, as I'm looking at the game here on my second monitor, you know, on my completely original hardware, from my perspective, I'm actually seeing both the top and the bottom DS screens completely side by side with each other. They're perfectly horizontal to each other. They're exactly the same dimensions. What I did, since trying to arrange the screens within the emulator on this completely original hardware, was proving very difficult. I actually set up 2 separate window captures, and then I just resized both of them manually. You want the yellow, pink, and cyan button. I don't know what button you think you're seeing. Or what button I am not seeing. But I suppose we can go ahead and keep the Hoenn News Network running, just to give a little more visual stimulation on the screen. I think that's kind of fun. Mauville! Oh no! It's... Oh god, I forgot how different Mauville looks in this city. More information on Binding of Isaac. They gave Mauville an upper level. I had no memory of this whatsoever. Oh, that's actually really cool. Oh, look at that. Man, this is the sort of stuff that I wish we would get more of in the Pokemon series. Game remakes of this level of quality and alteration. Because this is just fantastic. This is really, really cool. Let's see, I believe I can exit the city this way. Alright, Route 118. Where we can't get anything. Okay, fair enough. Let's check out the north and the western exits of the city. Oh, okay, guy wants to take the Pokemon challenge. I am compelled to go listen in. Hello, small, sickly, green-haired child. I am going to beat the crap out of you in a Pokemon battle. Because I'm the hero. And that's what heroes do. Speaking of what heroes do, Season 2 of Freerun started. I need to be following that. It would actually be really cool to, for honestly probably the first time, actually bother following an anime series that's very popular as it's released. That would be a lot of fun. Normally I just don't care enough about being involved in community discussion to bother with keeping up on things, but might be fun this time. Not to mention that Freerun kind of overlaps slightly with one of my primary story ideas, and it would be a very good idea to keep tabs on it to ensure that I do not end up going down exactly the same way. To be honest, I wonder how Pokemon and me would work on this. No idea. Small, green-haired, sickly child, I have not paid attention to a word you said. You, however, have Rock Smash, so that's helpful. Uh-huh. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, Route 111. I don't think I can access any grass prior to there. No, I cannot. Okay. That's fine. I do want to look where the various fishing rods are. Just so that I don't end up missing those. Okay. First one in Old Rod is Dewford. We don't need Old Rod whatsoever. Good Rod requires Surf to get. Alright, so we're not going to worry about getting that one either. The gym should be pretty simple. And how about if we go in this direction? Route 117. Here we go. Alright, some grass. Let's see what we find. What do we got? A Roselia. Have we ever caught a Roselia? Checking my list. I do not believe that we have ever caught a Roselia. Alright, cool. Let's go for Roselia. So this one's going to be Noob's name. This is going to be Feldway. Oh, she has Absorb. I see. Well, aren't you just a cheeky little jerk? I don't think Rock Tomb kills. God damn it. Okay, well, so much for Route 117. That really bothers me. Actually, can we have the map back, please? Ugh. That is distressing. I really didn't think Rock Tomb would kill. It was neutral, and I think it's only like 20 power higher than Mud Slap, isn't it? No, it's... Oh, Mud Slap's 20. I thought it was 30. Alright, that's where my miscalculation was. Alright, fair enough. It happens. In that case, let's just head straight to the gym. Let's go and get our third gym badge. It is the electric type gym. And I have a Pokemon that is immune to electricity, which is probably going to help. And, yeah. We're gonna have a fun time. Don't worry, there will be plenty of Pokemon captured today. Just not quite yet. Hey bro, what's up? Also, what level... Okay, his ace is level 21. So when we get to Rare Candy time, everybody gets to go up to level 21. I am really not worried about these Pokemon that I'm fighting. Especially not when they are quadruple weak against ground. Time to blow myself up with Dr. Fetus. I still have no idea what you are talking about. I mean, I know what you're talking about, I just have no way of understanding the deeper implications of what you are saying or what it means or implies. Honestly, levels are going pretty well. If we just end up sweeping this whole game with another water ground type, I will feel very, very powerful. There we go. Alright, section 2. Well, that's pretty telegraphed. Hello, youngster Ben. Well, isn't that an adorable Electrike you got there? I'm going to murder your dog. Because I'm a hero. And that's what heroes do. They murder the dogs of youngster Ben. We're also just kind of letting Luck's power level past everything. I mean, it works. Hello, Battle Girl. That's not an electric type. Oh, Battle Girl. You're so silly. That's a meta type. Meta type is a fighting and psychic type. Very good. Yeah, Lux is pretty damn strong. And we'll just kill you by slapping some mud in your face. Excellent work, Lux. Alright. So if I hit that, the current would probably connect here. So I think the intended goal is to ignore her and hit that. Nope, I was actually supposed to hit her switch. Okay, this is not a puzzle, this is a single path. Fair enough. God damn it. Thank you. Hello, sir. I trained under Watson. There's no way that I'd lose. Oh, shit, guys. I think this guy was trained under retired VTuber Amelia Watson. That could be really bad for us. She was, honestly, a little bit unstable sometimes. Oh, rollout. Okay, yeah, I don't like that. We're gonna kill you. Perfect. Gilbert wants to learn Aerial Ace. You're goddamn right you're getting Aerial Ace. Tina leveled up. I think because I'm running a team of only 5 instead of 6, the experience share split is actually keeping almost my entire team's levels up to an even point. I had not even thought about the implications of running a max team of 5 with the experience share, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's go get my entire team leveled up to 21. Including the Pokemon that I currently have in boxes. We're just going to take the team as is to the battle, because I think we're going to be fine. Concha wants to learn Venoshock. I really like that. Venoshock can be very powerful. Get Gilbert Facade. Ooh, that's a good idea. Ralsei gets a couple levels, and they evolve. Which means I need to get a new sprite. Boom. Alright, we now have a Linoone. Very nice. One more level. Gilbert's doing fine. Let's just deposit Gilbert real quick. And we're just going to take them both. We're going to deposit them back. But keeping a party size max of 5, or while all I'm doing is applying rare candies, is just inefficient. Quillbuddy, the next Pokemon Chris until further notice. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Let me just make a note of that. There you go. Bestow. What the hell is bestow? Huh. Cool. I don't need that. We don't run held items. Good tea. Run swift. I'm not going to be in enough double battles that helping hand is going to be a significant part of my strategies. Just keep on going. Electro Ball. Your speed is actually quite good. Let's take that over Quick Attack. Okay. Alright, and finally, Bubblegum. Bubblegum needs some levels. Supersonic, no, I don't need a 55 accuracy confusion move. Nice. Let's go grab Loudred. Okay. Very good. I think I may take Loudred over Linen on the team for a while. Yeah, we'll take it over Pound. Cool. And one more level for Bubblegum. Okay. So we're going to deposit Linoon and Plusle. And we are going to take Gilbert. So slot 2, we just swap that out with Loudred. Alright. A quick rest at the Pokemon Center, and we are ready to face Watson, who is going to be absolutely annihilated by just Lux. And I really should get Rock Smash taught to somebody. No, not Lux. Pikachu is not going to be, like, a frontline fighter all the time, considering that they're never going to be able to evolve anyway, I think. So, honestly, yeah, I'm fine just throwing an HM on Tenna. Cool. Alright. I did... Yes, okay. Okay, I think we are completely ready. We're just gonna turn on the Hoenn News Network so everybody can appreciate that. Oh, and it even keeps the solved puzzle routes in place. Okay, no it doesn't. How dare you lie to me? You finished ZA. Congratulations! I'm still trying to finish up my Mega Dimension Dex, which is an incredible pain in the ass. Yeah, good tea today. Dude, you look mildly deranged just staring like that. Alright. Okay, yeah, this man is deranged. What kind of tea are you having? This is a black tea mixed with mint. So it is a mint black tea mix. It's a very, very good blend. Mints are always some of my absolute favorite tea flavors. The only thing we really have to look out for here are the sturdies. And frankly, it did 8 damage on a crit, so not really worried. So we should open with the mud slaps to bypass the sturdies. Honestly, with that much damage, mud slaps are just enough regardless. Okay, easy win. He's gone straight for his ace. Quill, how would giving your Pokemon head pats work? I assume that you would probably use an arm of some description. Most people usually do use arms and hands for that purpose. Okay, ace is down. And finally, a Voltorb, who is absolutely screwed on a single mud shot. Really? Okay, charge. That's an interesting play. I don't think it wins, though. Okay. I think he goes for Super Potion, right? No, he doesn't. Rollout could actually be dangerous if I let it get out of hand. But Lux managed to live up to their namesake and win the coin toss to avoid hurting themselves every turn with confusion. Leader Watson has been defeated, and this Nuzlocke is rolling along with its 3rd badge. Let us activate the 3rd badge. Whoosh! We also get Volt Switch. Alright, perfect. So I believe now we work our way north toward... I think Lava Ridge is our next stop. If I'm remembering correctly. You know what would actually be really interesting? I've actually always, I always liked the idea of HMs and field moves in Pokemon. What if we brought, not necessarily an open world, but a more open world than we usually had in Pokemon? We brought back HMs, but we did not actually tie HM moves to gym leaders. We tie getting certain HMs to game progression, but people who have already earned those can trade them around within the community, and people who have not reached those points in progression can actually reach areas earlier by using traded Pokemon with HM moves. Alright, they're all heading to Mount Chimney. We can follow Again, we really don't need to prioritize fighting trainers, since we are just consistently leveling up. Alright, Route 112. There is a chance, yes, of finding things within rocks, and ether is actually really good to have. The thing you said is the thing Pokemon tried to avoid. I do know that the entire idea of tying HMs to gym leaders was specifically to try and avoid people being able to trade for early access to areas. But I'm saying, what if we leaned into that as an intended mechanic, rather than a mechanic that was trying to be avoided? I think it could be, like, a fun, interesting thing. It would be another element encouraging, like, community interaction, even. Okay, HM4, that's good. Alright, see you, mate. Alright, here we are, Route 112. Click the middle button on the right of the bottom screen. Aubrey, you're just not going to give up on this, are you? Okay, a Numel. I do not believe Numel has been taken off the list, and having a fire type would actually be really good. I do not trust Lux to be able to catch that. Bubblegum, why don't you do that? Alright, this might be our first catch of the day. Gotta update the next to name list after this, too. You're on there, it only shows 3 names at a time. Astonish. Okay, yes, Astonish is good. Very nice. Alright. Let's show this thing our great balls. Okay, our first catch of the day. So, this one's going to be named Feldway. And this is Route 112 Numel. I'm actually really happy about that. Numel stores its magma at 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, Feldway. Alright. Here, Aubrey, I'm going to show all of these buttons. This one shows you your team. This one shows your Pokedex. This one brings up your bag. This one brings up your badges. This one lets you save. I'm going through all of them one by one. You're right, I should save since we have run into soft locks. This one brings up the Dex Nav. This one brings up PlayNav, which unfortunately does not include anything called Pokemon and Me. It's very sad. And this one toggles in the map. Alright, we better go deposit this Pokemon so we're down below the limit of 5. Plusle. Quill is playing the Av band on this? Nope, not at all. It's just very obvious that that button doesn't do anything. It's a real shame. But, nope, nothing there whatsoever. We're all very sad about it. Got him. Bubblegum. Gilbert. With the next gym being fire, it's going to be pretty fun. Okay. Let's go for Swellow. Okay. So, slot number 4 is now a Swellow. Alright. Audrey, I will go, and I will go into Pokemon-Ami for you. Oh, wait, okay, this is actually our first encounter on this route. And it's a Geodude. Okay. So, I believe this is Route 111? Route 111 is a dead route. So, at least that takes care of Route 111. We'll just mark that off. And make sure that my new catches are highlighted, so I can update my lists later. Alright. Become even better pals with your Pokemon. Pet your Pokemon and feed them snacks called Pokepuffs, and you'll grow very close. A Pokemon that likes you will show its affection in many fun ways. Be sure to play with many different Pokemon. You can play these games with your Pokemon. Berry Picker, Head It, and Tile Puzzle. You may also want to try entertaining it by calling its name or making faces. Try many things and see what happens. Play together to earn Pokepuffs. Put Pokepuffs out and nearby Pokemon will come for a visit. Visiting Pokemon may give you decor items or Pokepuffs. Have fun using the decor items to decorate or change the wallpaper. Well, there you go. Behold the incredible interactive quality of Pokemon-Ami. Behold the most exciting gameplay in the history of the Pokemon franchise. This is truly staggering stuff. Actually, it is very cute the way they just sort of hop around. Cool. What? I don't need to bother looking up the next gym just yet. We're not quite there. Having this Numel is really good, though. Now, next step. Working our way up toward Lava Ridge. Got it. Oh, okay, heart scale. That's actually really good. That means move tutor access. Yep, that's all we get to do. Super training is actually a very interesting thing. It basically lets you do EV training on the fly, which is actually a really, really cool thing. I will show you what I mean about that. Basically, you just, you hit giant balloons with balls in a stadium, and this makes your stats better. Can you see that? Right in front of you. That giant right there is a balloon bot. Quill, do you know Professor Dave? No idea what you're talking about. Hit those goals before you get hit. Use the circle pad on your Nintendo 3DS to move your Pokemon around the virtual space. Tap and drag a lower screen to both aim and shoot a special ball at the goal. Aim for the white goals that appear in front of the balloon bots and shoot like mad. Alright. So, they do get a lot harder. Eventually you have to, like, dodge things, and then the targets will move around faster. There'll be different sizes. But basically, this provides EV points for Pokemon. And, yeah, it just contributes to stat growth. Ultimately, I'm not going to rely on doing the super training. We could absolutely break the intended difficulty of this game by relying on the super training. Like, it is... Fully EV-trained Pokemon are absolutely crazy strong compared to ones that are not so trained. So... we are not going to break the game's difficulty by doing that. I will say, however, that this was one of the best EV training systems they ever came up with. But these days, they've just decided, okay, screw it. Vitamins are no longer limited to 100 EVs, and that's really fixed the whole thing together. Oh, that... Okay. Maybe I've seen one of his things at some point. I'm hard to tell. Alright, let's keep going. Gulpin, a poison type. Gulpin D's nuts versus the guy who just kills everything with mud shots. Tenna wants to learn Double Team. No, we're gonna pass on that. Wrong button. So far, this whole Nuzlocke has just felt very laid back, very easy, very low stress. Ah, damn it, it's a hiker. Do we have to make the full loop before we can go up to Lava Ridge? I can't remember. Yeah, Lux is just kind of erasing everything. Concha wants to learn Psybeam. You're goddamn right you're gonna learn Psybeam. Good job, Concha. Okay, and a Machop. You know, I think what might work against Machops is Mudshots. I can't believe he'd sweep the leg like that. We both lowered each other's speed. Oh, what an innocent-minded little bastard you are. Good news, team! We killed a man! Okay. They're not interested in being involved. Alright, sub-area, Fiery Path. Coles, you'll probably get to name something here. It is a Numel. You do not get to name something here. Alright, Fiery Path, mark that off. Hey, Numel. How you doing, Mr. Camel? You doing okay? Alright, well that's great to hear. You just keep living your life, man. Don't scald anyone to death. Okay, this is all still Route 112. So, I think we actually go all the way up to Fall Arbor and then circle back around. Maybe? Gen 3 is really the generation that I know the least. You know, aside from just... aside from just, you know, Gen 7, which I never played. But I will. This year I'm going to go through Gen 7, both regular and Ultra. Hello, Gilbert. It is a shame that you had to be part of the generation that prioritized the stupid air battle system and had a very profoundly negative effect on the models of many Pokemon as a result. Okay, Swagger on Dusktop. What the hell am I doing? I use Psybeam on a Dark type. I'm very distracted. Okay, that's better. Gilbert grew to 23. We got some raspberries. No, I'm not planting berries. We got some personberries. And more raspberries. Alright, back on Route 111. I really would like to get some more Pokemon today. There are so many locations in Helen, but... Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was never really big on the whole Gen 3 remake crowd. Even before, like, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out. I don't like the way that early game Gen 3 goes on, like, a big loop. It just feels like it kind of loses most of its momentum for a little bit. And I know this is going to sound like heresy, okay? I know this is going to sound like heresy. But the fact is that I believe that Hoenn does, in fact, have too much water. Or rather, I should clarify, I believe it has too much open expanses of water. The water routes are not particularly interesting, excluding the one with the currents next to Pacific Block. That actually has, like, its own very interesting thing going on. But I think a lot of the water routes are boring. I think that at best, a lot of them just bother you by preventing you from getting to the part of the water that you're trying to reach, which is not particularly interesting. I think if there were a scattering of just small islands with, like, a handful of, you know, grass tiles on them, I think it would actually really contribute to the water areas being best. However, that being said, Coles, you are 100% correct that the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are easily and by far the best of the Pokemon remakes ever done. These are the gold standard. These should be held up as what every Pokemon remake should be aiming to be. They are fantastic. And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were garbage. I mean, let's be real here. They were actually garbage in terms of being remakes. In fact, they are not remakes. BDSP, sure. BDSP are barely more than remasters. And, you know, there's a place for remasters, and you can have really, really good remasters. But Oras really is just legitimately, like, a good, proper remake. And it's such a good one. It adds so much. BDSP are literally just Gen 8 Diamond and Pearl. And that's it. Okay, we learned all about secret bases. Meanwhile, the news stories are... apparently, journalists are stalking me, given how much they seem to be obsessed with reporting news about me. It's kind of weird. Probably best not to, like, really focus on that. Hello. Oh, I never got a bike in Mauville. Whatever. It's fine. I'll be stopping by Mauville again. We're doing pretty good. We are about to enter Route 113, and then we'll have Route 114, and then we will have Meteor Falls. And I believe Route 115 does not have any grass except on the northern side. So we have multiple locations for Pokemon catching available imminently. And then I believe we circle back around to Mauville, and then we go back up to Lava Ridge. It's this whole loop section that I think is just not really that good in this generation. It feels very unnecessary. Okay, here's May. May, you don't need to heal my Pokemon. I just got my Pokemon healed. Alright, Route 113. Coles, you might be up for a name. Ooh! Oh, crap! It's a Spinda! Okay. Okay, this is actually really big. Coles, we are going to try to capture the Spinda. There is a possibility, though, if we wish, in Four Tree City, we could trade a Spinda for a Skitty. So this is actually a gateway to two different Pokemon. If we decide that we want a Skitty more than we want a Spinda. Tipsy is a great name for this. You're low enough. I don't want to risk another Mud Slap. We're just gonna show it our balls. Okay, Tipsy the Spinda has been caught. Coles, you are moving down to the bottom of the name list. Barring anyone else showing up. Aubrey, you are next in the name list. Unless you have something different to suggest, your catch will be named Chris. Honestly, Screech Stomp. I'll take that over Echoed Voice. Okay, that's perfect. We will put Spinda in the box when we get to Fall Arbor. Whoops, didn't name it. God damn it. And I'll also have to take Spinda to the Name Raider, who is somewhere. Yeah, he's in Slateport. Okay. So we'll make sure that we stop by Slateport when we can to properly name him. Yeah, getting a Spinda is real good. Fun thing. Spinda is the one Pokemon that makes it impossible to get a full dex with all possible Pokemon forms in it. This is because Spinda has millions, and I do literally mean millions, of different patterns. In fact, I believe the issue of all of its patterns is the reason why, at this time, you cannot put Spindas into Pokemon Home. Or at least I know you can't from BDSP. Getting this 4th badge in Gen 3 is such a pain. Okay, we're doing okay. Ninjas. We got ninja'd. Okay, relieve coughing and wheezing, have levitate. So, no mud shots here. Luckily, Lux has water gun. I was actually worried that Alpha Sapphire would actually be pretty hard to Nuzlocke. So far, this has been so easy, I have barely used anything other than my starter. Although, to be fair, I also did get, like, the most perfect starter. So, you know, that might just be a result of that. Things would look very different if we had gotten one of the other starters. But I'm still suspecting that it's going to get a lot tougher once we get past, like, badge 6. Those last couple of badges are actually going to be a real tough time. Okay. Sandshrew. That would have been an interesting catch. I'm actually quite worried about when we get to the Nuzlocke for BDSP. Because I do not run, and never have actually run, Switch emulation. My own perspective has always kind of been to explicitly avoid current gen emulation. And realistically, it has less to do with any kind of a moral fiber, and more just with I find it to be significantly more unreliable. So I'm actually going to be doing BDSP off of my Switch, original software, and that means no rare candies. Actually, I guess that kind of makes that, like, the challenge. That actually adds, like, legitimately one of the challenges that I add for that version is no more rare candying. That's fine. Hello, Loretta. Or Lynetta. See, I was almost right. I knew she had some kind of a name. Everything is going pretty good. Hey, May. What's up? What kind of disaster's going on? I have no memory of this. Okay. Professor got kidnapped. Yep, alright. We're gonna head to Meteor Falls. But more importantly, we have new Pokemon routes. Route 114. Aubrey, you are next up in the name list. Aubrey, what do we get to name? Do we get something new? Do we get something interesting? Let's find out. And our Route 114 encounter is... Lombre. And I believe Lombre is valid. So, Lombre. Let's just go for a rock tomb. Perfect. So, Aubrey, unless you chime in very quickly, this thing will be named Chris. And then, Mystic, if you're around, you will get the next name after that. That'll be down to whatever we encounter in Meteor Falls. Okay, we have captured Chris. Meteor Falls is 75% Zubat, 25% Lunatone. So... Ooh. Good chance of not getting a new Pokemon there. Okay, Lombre is named Chris. That actually gives us a solid grass type. And I really like that. Oh, there we go. And since no one else has been in the chat other than you guys, Aubrey goes down to the bottom of the list. I think going for the Lava Ridge gym badge is a good goal where we can stop for the day. Also, we need to deposit the Pokemon that will get named Tipsy as soon as we can take it back to sleep. Alright, Meteor Falls. Let's move on. You know what? I'm having a pretty good day. I like that. Okay, so we really can't avoid you. Hello, sir. In half a fursuit? You're probably a healthy and well-adjusted man. Protect. Interesting. Also, I need to make the note on my thing here. Route 113 was Spenda. Route 114 was Lombre. Highlight those boxes for later reference. Perfect. Yep, sturdy keeps you alive. Put into your notes that you have to name it Tipsy. Honestly, that's a really good idea. Name it Tipsy in Slateport. Okay. That way, even if I don't get to it today for some reason, I can knock that out in between episodes. Thank you for that good suggestion. Loudred's got quite the butthole on it, doesn't it? I guess it's loud out of both ends. Hey May, what's up? Yeah, sure, I'll grab a random item over here. Go cosplay Pikachu! Okay, another ether's actually really good to have. Protein! Face the other way, small child. Thank you. Oh. I see item. energy powder. Okay, I'll always take free healing items. We're almost to Meteor Falls. Can I name the next Pokemon Noelle? If we manage to circle back around to you again today? Yeah, Noelle is fine. So far, all of my opponents are doing nothing other than making Lux stronger and stronger. When we do get to the next gym, Flannery's ace is level 28. And she's got Slugma, Numa, and Torkoal, and she runs Sunny Day on all of them. And Torkoal runs Overheat, Numel runs Lava Plume, Torkoal runs Curse. So we absolutely do not want to let Flannery set up. Anything else here? No? Okay. Alright, Meteor Falls. 75% chance of Zubat. 25% chance of Lunatone. So 1 in 4 chance, Mystic, that you get to name something. And let's make sure we save. I'm not having any trouble with the game acting up today, so that's good. Let's just see if we can't get that encounter. Mystic, it is a Lunatone. It is a Lunatone. Okay. Lunatone has Levitate. It'll resist rock, so that'll be fine. I believe Lunatone and Solrock do not have a particularly favorable catch rate. Yeah, capture rate 45. So it is a bit unfavorable. So to increase our odds, we're going to make sure we paralyze it. Yep, embargo doesn't bother me. Go for the Thunder Wave. Beautiful! Okay, we are in about as good a position as we could be to try and capture it now. Honestly, let's try and burn through these Pokeballs. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not a particularly good Pokemon. It's only got 440 base stats. Its best is 95 in special attack, 85 in special defense. Psywave could potentially be a threat. We'll let Contra take point. One of the things that we definitely can do with Lunatone, however, is make use of Cosmic Power in order to raise its defense and special defense. Having a Pokemon that we can you know, like, really, really power up like that is extremely good. Like, that kind of a setup can potentially make it virtually unkillable. Mystic, if you are there, we are probably going to capture this thing. Correction. We have caught this thing. And it is your turn to name. We have captured the moon. That's actually really good to get. Quesadilla. Okay. Alright. We have named this Pokemon Quesadilla. Coles, you are next up to name. Mystic, you are moved to the bottom of the name queue. That was a really, really, really good catch. That is super good. Like, legitimately cosmic powering a Lunatone really could be, like, end-game strategy. I've got a few potions I can burn through. Oh, Lunatone's holding something. It actually might be holding a moonstone. If it's holding a moonstone, then that's a 5% chance on a 25% chance Pokemon. Stardust. No. Okay. It's just money. It's just money. We can sell for money. Don't worry, Nino. I'm here to fight with you. Especially if you get stored power. I was looking through, and I don't actually see stored power anywhere on its list of moves. Yeah, it does not get stored power in any method, by any method, in Gen 6. Which is really unfortunate. Well, hello, Shelly. I see you've gone for the Uniboob shirt design. Very fashionable, I guess. Okay, Mightyana's roars could be very annoying. No, it's gonna go swaggering on Slugma D's nuts. That did not do nearly as much as I anticipated. Why did that do so much less than I anticipated? Alright, just see if we can... Nope. Okay, Grimer's down. You've gone for Snarl for double debuffs. You absolute ass. Okay, that's not bad. Slugma's down. Okay. Grovyle, not the best option here. Okay. Alright, that's fairly respectable. Okay, yeah, my... Lux is screwed up enough, I think it's time for the swap. Who wants to take point? Yeah! I think Concha's a good option here. I just really want to get that damn thing taken down. That freaking Grimer. No, okay, it's roaring on Concha. Forcing out Tenna. Okay. So, Electro Ball on Mightyena. Never mind, Electro Ball on Grimer. Good job, Tenna. Lux wants to learn Rock Slide. 75 and 90 versus 60 and 95. I think I'm going to stick with Rock Tomb. Hello, Lux. Why is the Pikachu in a maid outfit? Because it is cosplay Pikachu. And this is definitely the best way I have to represent that. Lux, everybody else has gotten to name a Pokemons already today. So I'm actually going to move you to the top of the naming list ahead of Cole. So our next stop is going to be Route 115. Encounters there are Tailo, Swablu, Jigglypuff, and Wingull. So we do have a good 60% chance. Did I ever catch... I've never had a Swablu, right? Yeah. So we've got like a good 60% chance of you getting to name a Pokemon on the next route. My God, it's a man in glasses! Truly, we are screwed. Oh heck, it's IGN. Alright, well, see you guys. My name is Maxie. We have a wonderful plan to make the world better for everyone by blowing up the ocean. This plan will obviously have no negative consequences for humanity. Hooray, we saved the professor. I would really appreciate if we didn't escort him back. I'd have to walk all the way back to Meteor Falls. God damn it. Skipping through dialogue. We got a smackdown. Come with me to Mauville. Actually, sure. That's honestly fairly convenient. So we can take Tipsy down in order to get their name changed. If we buy a couple repels, we can easily get back to our other locations more quickly. I also need to go find the bike shop here. Change your next name to Birdly. Okay. Don't worry, Lux. We will head back to Route 115. Yes, I come from far away. I would actually prefer the acro bike, thank you. Cool. We need to put this Lunatone in our box as well. There we go. Hell yeah. I'm the coolest kid in town, because I've got a bike. Do you have a bike? I don't think so. You don't have a bike. Alright, Lunatone, you go in the box. Perfect. Change the name to Birdly. Yeah, I know about Bike Road. Okay, Birdly. Actually, having some Ultra Balls would be great at this point. Why Birdly? Because Aubrey has a few specific hyperfixations. One of them is pets, and the other one is Runetail, or Deltarune. So I get distracted and I say the wrong words. Okay. Let's go. You know what? We're just gonna turn on the fast forward and we're gonna burn through this stuff really quick. There. The audio will be a bit scrappy as we cut between slow and fast, but don't worry about it. It's all gonna be fine. Doesn't interfere with the emulation or anything. Although, just to be on the safe side, probably best to do this. But basically, we got a Pokemon that we need to name. And the name raider is down in Slateport. Not to mention this saves my repels for when I go back up through Fall Arbor. Okay, so the name raider... Is this the... Yeah, that's the name raider's house. That is not the Pokemon Center. Okay. So, quick 6-person party just for the purposes of giving the name Tipsy to our Spenda. It's very important. Hello there, old man. Yes, I want you to rename my Spenda to Tipsy. Alright. That's been taken care of. I can go ahead and remove that note. And now we're actually going to do the full loop back through Fall Arbor and down through Meteor Falls, just so we can hit Route 115 and see if Lux gets to name a Pokemon there. Whoops. There we go. I really hate Simon Cowell. I also do not like Simon Cowell. I have equal issues with Gordon Ramsay. I believe anybody who actively chooses to present themselves as such a negative, aggressive person is doing a disservice to the world and humanity. That's what's interesting, is that I would respect them more, not a lot more, but I would genuinely respect them slightly more if they actually were just blanket bullies. What really bothers me is that they're not. They're putting on a character. They're playing up a character. They're pretending that they are a different way than they typically are for the purposes of ratings and entertainment, which is something I very much disagree with. I simply don't think it is a helpful, healthy, or good thing. People can play a character, but when you are presenting yourself as yourself, you are blurring the line between reality and fiction to a point where people think, oh, this is how this person who is an actual person actually behaves. So that must be okay. And it's not. And that, I think, is a very different thing than, you know, playing a truly fictional character and being an ass. Because there's a greater line of separation there between reality and fiction. At least that's how I perceive it. I really don't have anything solid to back any of that up. Hypothetically, if get to name a Snorunt. Okay.
You know what? Why don't we go up to Lava Ridge and get the badge first?
and then we will end the stream by going back around and hitting Meteor Falls. This way, Lux, you still get to name something probably fairly quickly. But I can also end the stream after we check Route 115, and then you don't all have to sit there an extra 5 minutes while I make the loop. See, that is some cute little game assets right there. Alright. Here is our next location. We've got Mount Chimney. Everyone is fighting over Mount Chimney. Are there any encounters on Mount Chimney at this point? No idea. Hello. I know there's the route south of Mount Chimney, and that'll definitely have locations, but I'm not sure about the, about finding grass just on the mountain proper. So, Team Aqua was like, we'll blow up the land! And Team Magma's like, we'll blow up the oceans! And apparently not a single person in either of their organizations is smart enough to realize, hey, those are incredibly stupid plans. I'm impressed, Grimer. I did not think you would survive that attack. Alright, well, maybe you'd like a mud slap. How dare you? There we go. Lux levels up some more. Both are so stupid, I can't tell which one is stupider. I think Team Aqua is stupider. Because at least if there's land, people can, you know, build things on the land. But if there's no land, then, like, where the hell do people live? But it's not a big difference. Like, it's arguing which is dumber between IQ 10 and IQ 9. Like, there comes a point where it just genuinely does not make any practical difference. I thought that too, but ships exist. Yes. However, ships have to be supplied. And in order to supply ships, you generally have to give them resources from land. Aqua don't want people to live. Team Aqua is a suicide cult. Goddamn suicide cults always bugging people. Yes, we will take that. Concha's actually got a really good moveset right now. It's just a shame they have no stats to back it up. Right, disabled. Yeah, I think that's the funniest thing about the classic IGN. You know what? I will put this out there again. Like, I'd already said I actually think too much water is, like, an actual genuine criticism of Gen 3. And I stand by that. I will also add to that. I think if you are rating objectively compared to all games that exist, I genuinely think 7.8 is fair for Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. I am genuinely of the opinion that that is a fair score. I know people don't like them, but I think it's a fair score. Assuming that 5 was your midpoint, which it's not. In the video game reviewing world, basically 7 is what you call a completely average game. Because if you don't, your ass is not going to be sent review copies. So, if you ever see a game that gets a 7 out of 10 or a 7.8 out of 10, what they mean is that it's a completely average experience. And on that scale, I actually think Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby should definitely have rated at least, around an 8. How is that platform not falling into the lava? So, the thing about lava is that actual molten rock puts out an insane amount of toxic gas. You would not be able to stand this close to lava of that coloration without risking death from the fumes that you're inhaling. So, that's one of the things that games get the most wrong, is that lava is not dangerous if you fall into it. Lava is dangerous if you're within 100 feet of it and breathe it. It actually has to cool rather significantly before you could be this close to it without risking your life purely from breathing. As for how the platform stays over it, magical Pokemon materials. Funny how Minecraft's lava is the most accurate in gaming. I wouldn't say that because it does not naturally cool. Okay, this is actually a problem because I'm out of healing items. If I need a Pokemon that I can sack, it would be Concha as my least valuable. No, I actually do have energy powder. Okay. So, probably just back to Lux. This one's gonna be a bit of an iffy fight. That assurance is so damn strong. Okay. I have 16 Oran Berries. Oran Berries are 10 HP each. I cannot survive against his offense using those. True, they do heal. They just won't help me in a battle situation. Okay, I hurt myself in confusion. So this guy is dropping a lot of very unfortunate attacks against me. I'm in a real bad spot here. That assurance is hitting like crazy. God damn. I really don't know how I handle this Sharpedo. I may need to sacrifice something. Of everyone on the team, Bubblegum is probably the least valuable. Okay, it at least used something without stab. I can lower its defense. This shouldn't kill? No. Okay, Bubblegum is down. Okay. Electro Ball does not kill here. I think Thunder Wave is the best way to go. Okay, got off in Assurance. Tenna is down. Okay. I think I just have to go and risk it. Okay. Sharpedo's down. Lux leveled up. Gilbert levels up. His last is a Golbat. That is a problem. Okay. Do I think he's slow enough to die to a water gun? Torrent is active. I'm going to risk it. Okay. There we go. Alright, we got him. It was rough. We lost 2 Pokemon, but we got him. To be fair, that would have gone very differently if I had bothered to stock up on healing items. But it's all fine. We lost a Pikachu and a Loudred. Honestly, not the worst. Not the worst things I could have lost. The real problem now is that I still need to reach. Yes. Okay, perfect. We're back at full health. Alright, so I can't actually release my Pokemon until I reach Lava Ridge. That shouldn't be too difficult, though. Anyway, Jagged Pass. Pokemon encounter time. It is a Machop. Have we ever encountered... Yes, Machop, Machoke, and Machamp are on the lockout list. And so we cannot catch this, and we will mark that off as done. Cool. Hello, hiker. I have no interest in fighting anyone until I get to town. There. Thank you. X defense. Okay. Yep, you're in for a fight. We're just gonna get through this nice and fast. Just actually, yeah. Let's put that at normal speed and not have the water ground type against the grass type. We're just gonna let Dilbert take it. Go, Dilbert. Swablu. Swablu. There. Okay. And we are fine. Alright, first thing we need to do, we have to get rid of Tenna and Bubblegum. So, goodbye Bubblegum. Goodbye Tenna. To join the team instead, I think I will take this Lunatone. And this Spinda. Sure. And I think Spinda can learn Rock Smash. Well, I mean, it can definitely learn Strength. And that is Stab. And Copycat, because screw that. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's knock out Flannery's gem real quick. I really don't think it's going to be a problem. Not with Marshtomp. But, before we go in, we are going to grab some healing items. Specifically, we are going to buy 10 super potions. Yeah, the Marshtop solos almost everything. We do have this Stardust we can sell. Cool. That definitely got a bit iffy, but we're gonna be okay. Gyms are always an impressive display of incredibly dangerous areas. Like, there's no way this is even remotely safe. There's a reason every speedrun uses Mudkip. Yeah, Mudkip is just the absolute best. I love the gym redesigns in this game. I'm going to assume that you are a mandatory battle in order to progress. Hello, Battle Girl Sadie, who once again is another Battle Girl who refuses to adhere to the types of the gym. That's fine. Mudshot will fix everything. That did not do much. Gen 3 has a huge meta-type kink. It has a huge kink for meta-types, and Gen 3 also had a huge kink for evasion boosting. Like, my god, double team bullshit in Gen 3 is such a pain in the ass. Alright, I'm betting I go over here. I think the correct way is over here. And then I think this is the only other mandatory fight in this gym. Kindler Andy, who sends out a Pokemon that is 4x weak against water. Numel is now dead. Okay. Good job, Lux. Good job, Gilbert. Quick Guard. No, we don't need Quick Guard. Quesadilla leveled up. Alright, we have reached the gym. First things first, we're going to use our Oran Berries to top off Lux. And then we are going to go through this very quickly. This is not going to be a problem. Welcome! No, wait, I mean, puny traitor. You've done well to make it this far. Let's see. I'm honored to be serving as the gym leader of... No, I mean, I'm Flannery, and I'm in charge here. You'd better not underestimate me, just because I've only been a leader a short time. With the skills inherited from my grandfather, I'm gonna demonstrate the hot moves we've honed in this land. Hiya! Oh, Flannery. You're adorable. Alright, so first things first, she wants to make sure that we slug Muddy's nuts. And we are not going to be worrying about this gym. Oh, right, I forgot to rare candy my Pokemon. Whatever, we'll rare candy them when we're out of here. We'll put everybody up to 28. Okay, Numel. Flannery is such a non-threat, we didn't even have to rare candy. Not that we could rare candy Lux. They're already 3 levels over gym cap. And Torkoal. For this one, we're going to go with Mud Shots again. Overheat ain't gonna do crap. Oof. Bad move, Torkoal. Oh, that's so cute! You're actually going for Sunny Day. After you immediately dropped your special attack by 2 stages. Not a great strategy, Flannery. But I shouldn't be rough. She's only been a gym leader a short time. Perfect. Alright. And let's adjust our graphics to display the 4th badge. We also get Overheat. Oh, crap. I never adjusted... Damn it. Okay, I never adjusted my Pokemon display here. Hold on. We need Spinda and Lunatone. Okay, Spinda. And Lunatone. I knew I forgot something. That's okay, though. We're just going to fix it right now. First, we're going to strip Pikachu's clothes off. Lunatone. Erase the color filter. There we go. And slot 2, erase the color filter. And replace that with Spinda. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we're not going to go for any other gym badges today. What we are going to do is work our way back up to Fall Arbor. And we're just going to work our way around in order to hit Route 115 to see if Lux gets to name something today. That's going to be our plan for the rest of the stream. Okay, can you just make this go a little faster, please? Thank you. Cool. Yeah. I know the audio does not appreciate being fast-forwarded. That's fine. I could have just walked south from Flannery, couldn't I? Okay, May, give me some Go Goggles. Actually, hitting the Go Goggles along, hitting the desert along the way up, that'll give us the opportunity for 2 encounters. Oh, no, wait, the desert... Yeah, the desert is still part of Route 111, isn't it? I don't think it actually counts as a separate location. And yeah, we already lost that route. Okay. Yeah. There is the tower, you're right. Yeah, we can make a quick stop inside the tower. Nugget, that is absolutely great. Yeah. So we've got 2 locations to check before we end today. Trapinch would be amazing to get. Stardust, that's good. Baltoy. Luckily, we are still in Route 111. Honestly, I would rather just repel until we are actually inside of the tower. TM37. Yeah, we'll do with that. Root fossil or claw fossil. Well, there's only one possible way to settle something like that. We are going to need the wheel. Claw fossil. Root fossil. And now we just need the Wheel of Names. There we go. Here we go. Let's figure it out. Are we getting a claw fossil or a root fossil? Okay. It looks like we are going to be taking the claw fossil today. I like Armaldo more than Crawdilly. So do I. So that's not our encounter for here. This will be an encounter in the location where we actually get to revive them. Oh, I'm gonna call BS on that guy encountering me. No, we're going through this real fast. Nope, no rock slide. Oh wait, that was for Quesadilla. Well, you know what? It's okay if Quesadilla doesn't learn rock slide. That's not a problem. It doesn't look like the tower decided to be there today. Oh, screw you. Man, it really did not like fast forwarding there. Okay. Roselia, Gilbert can handle this. Tower isn't always there. I don't think so, weirdly enough. Nope, not for hypnosis. Cool. Yep, another repel. That's fine. We're going to actually let Gilbert take point for a minute. Just in case. Oh. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to do all the rare candying stuff in between streams. Just so we don't all have to sit there for 5 minutes while I rare candy up all of my Pokemon to 28. But I did promise we're going to hit Route 115 before we end stream today. And that is what we are going to do. So, Route 115. I want to see what we encounter there. I cannot answer that question, Cole. I do not know Binding of Isaac. Alright, Lux, you're up. Yep, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. Cool. Alright, through Meteor Falls. Okay, Route 115. This is where we can actually get an encounter. Lux, I believe we have a 60% chance of a new Pokemon on this route. God damn it. Just aerial ace it. Thank you. Great balls. Cool. We got some wear pairs. I believe that's a pair that turns into a werewolf at the full moon. Oh, okay, I guess the 115 stuff is only accessible via Surf. Well, that's dumb. Alright, so unfortunately, Lux, I do not believe we get to give you a Pokemon to name today. If you would like to throw out a name right now, though, I will leave it on the top of the list, and we'll give you a name next week. How does that sound? The fossil? I think the fossil... We revived the fossil here. Is it? Do we revive the fossil in this town? We can revive it right now. Where is that at? Is that in Slateport or Rustboro? I can't remember where we do the fossil resurrection. Is it just at Devon? That's the most I can think. The place where you got the letter from Steven. Okay, yeah, so it is in Devon. Okay, so Lux, you do get a name here. You get a name for Rustboro. Interesting. I'm not seeing where to revive something here. Oh, there was more down. I see. Ah, this must be you. Here we go. Alright. Anorith has joined the team. We will make a note of that in Rustboro. We will also make a note that Whismer and Pikachu are dead. Rustboro City, encounter Get. This is Anorith. Make a note of that. Name it Eugene. Okay. So you did get in a Pokemon name for today. When we reach the next stream, we will be ready to progress up in... I don't actually know where the hell we go, but we'll figure it out. I will have all of the Pokemon rare candied up to level 28 at that point. And, yeah, we will make our push into the second half of this game, where things should be pretty damn interesting. Thank you all so much for being here for the stream today. I really appreciate it. The next Pokemon stream will be next week, probably about the same time. The weekly RPG Maker stream will be tomorrow morning. The current daily series on the channel is Pokemon Too Many Types 2. And I'm also starting to play an old game from the Super Nintendo, specifically that system's version of Jurassic Park. So you can keep a lookout for that. I think that's all the things that I had to say today. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. There is a link down to the channel Discord in the description if that interests you. And I think it is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.